Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. So it's 4 in the morning, I just finished watching WandaVision, and I'm here to give you guys a review. Again, it's a non-spoiler review, so even if you haven't seen the episode yet, you can watch this video. And before we get into it, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Also turn notifications on so you get notified whenever I upload a new video or I go live. Without wasting any more time, here are my non-spoiler thoughts on WandaVision Episode 3. I have a list of stuff I want to talk about just so I stay in the boundaries and I don't spoil anything for you guys. It's starting to break up more around the characters so that the characters can each develop more, and it's starting to feel more and more like a Marvel project every episode. This is great because we're finally getting back to that normal feel of a Marvel episode. Now, I'm not going to complain because I actually really did like the sitcom feel at first, but I'm actually glad they're going in the direction they are. It was good to have that sitcom style for these first 3 episodes, and I hope that they keep it in some way because I feel like that's the main point of the show. But at the same time, if they start to take it out or dwindle it out a little bit, I wouldn't mind. I also like that in this episode, instead of Vision always being laid back, he's actually becoming confrontational. He goes back and forth between these two moods, and it's really off-putting to the audience. You never know when Vision is going to find something out and when Wanda might have to go back and alter reality again. She already did it at the end of episode 2 when they saw the guy in the bee suit. She already altered the reality, but Vision never knew about it. Also, this episode gets really messy whenever the rewinding of time starts to happen. I mean, it already happened in the end of episode 2, so obviously it's going to happen in this episode. That's not really a spoiler. But I feel like the show got pretty messy for that little chunk of time. When I saw the rewinding parts, I was so confused at first, and then I actually realized what was going on. Like I mentioned before, Vision's mood changes actually really carried this episode because you never knew when he was going to find out something that Wanda didn't want him to know about. I love that in this episode, Vision turns from being clueless and overwhelmed with the unnecessary anxiety of becoming a father to being genuinely creeped out and kind of questioning where he exactly is. We saw this in episode 2, but whenever Vision starts to actually get clues and understand what's going on, or when he starts to question what's going on, Wanda starts to snap him back into reality, I guess, and her reality is what she wants it to be. Whenever she finds someone who's threatening her well-being in her universe, which is basically what anyone would do in their normal universe, this is just what makes Wanda happy. If she finds someone that's threatening her, she wants to kind of fix it right away. It's also super crazy to see that Vision at one moment, like I said before, he can just be like a normal Vision, like that sitcom character that we've seen in the first 2 episodes, and then he becomes like actually like what you see in the movies. Like he becomes a real character, unlike one of those things that like kind of like a puppet with that like he was in the first episodes. Instead of being a puppet, he kind of becomes more of a regular sitcom character. And then he starts to realize what's going on, but Wanda, as I said before, just snaps him back into her reality. On the note of having to switch between basically 2 to 3 different personalities, in this episode, Paul Bettany, in my opinion, did super well when it comes to acting. It's super cool to me that we get to see Paul Bettany's Vision turn from a super funny, like, hero type of character into a super serious superhero and kind of actually trying to find out what is going on, because he already has hints in his head, basically. Like, he's already thinking of all these things, but he just has to piece it all together. The final thing I want to talk about in this video is that I think the side characters are actually getting really, really good, and they're actually getting developed really well, even if they don't have much screen time. Monica Rambeau was the main side character in this episode, but the way that they use the other 2 side characters in this episode really kind of makes up for them not appearing in the episode at all before that. I'm super happy in the way that they actually implemented these other 2 side characters because it kind of makes you question their appearance in general. Before this video ends, I wanted to mention my gripe from the last review, which was I think the episodes might be too short for content, and we'll see whenever it comes to like later on, like next like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever the show starts to gain relevancy and how people are reacting to the hype for the next episode. Because as I mentioned before in the last episode, in the last review, was I think that 30 minutes is a little bit too short. But in my opinion, this episode, they gave a lot of content when it came to setting up the future. And yes, a lot of that content was only in the last few minutes of the episode, but it's still there, so I can't complain. I really do think that they're doing some crazy stuff with this episode, and if I'm not mistaken, I heard some stuff on Twitter about the show becoming like 40 to 50 minutes after episode 4 or 5, I think, or like the second half of the show is going to be like 40 to 50 minute episodes. Also, if you guys didn't already know, there's a $25 million budget per episode, which is kind of insane to me. All I know is that the action is going to get ramped up to a whole nother level, and I'm super excited to see what Marvel has coming. And yeah guys, that's it for this video. If you guys haven't already hit that subscribe button, make sure you do so. Turn notifications notifications so you get notified anytime that I upload a new video or I go live. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.